What's good, y'all? It's the one and only Nappy Head Fred coming back to y'all with another album review of Xzibit Restless. This is Xzibit's third studio album released December 12th, the year of 2000 under Epic Records, Loud Records, and SRC Records. So without any further ado, let's hop into it.
Sticking them up at point blank range. They say the more things change, they staying the same. I can't complain. Type of shit that.
First song we got on here is Front to Back. I thought this was an honestly solid start to the album. I definitely enjoyed the production overall. It gives you like that throwback West Coast feel, just with the kind of weary, funky sounds in the background. I thought was a really nice touch. I also love the beat type. I thought the beat type was amazing, but just the way Xzibit flowed through the track I thought was really dope. I feel like the hook was a little too long to be a hook, but I definitely caught on to it. It was definitely catchy a little bit. I just feel like it could have been shortened though in a way, but I feel like Xzibit's verses were really dope. His aggression pretty much on every song that I'm about to name was definitely on par with the production. He matched the energy right away. This is really just one of those songs you could play in your car and just bump to. So definitely a really solid song overall and definitely enjoyable for the first song on the album.
Bounce up out of the house close to midnight. Full rack up in the back. Shit is tight. Full charge and I'm out.
Next song we got on here is Been a Long Time. Sorry, I hesitated on that. Featuring Nate Dogg. I thought this song was cool. I actually enjoyed the little vibe to it. The production isn't nothing too crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. There's not like crazy beat types. There's not a crazy sound in the background. It's really focused on the lyrics, and I feel like lyrically, Xzibit excelled by far. But I love Nate Dogg on the hook. I think Nate Dogg is like easily the top maybe 3 best hook person in hip hop. We could agree to disagree, but I think he's in that upper echelon. I'm trying to think of these big words, but I think y'all get what I'm saying. I think he's top 3 in terms of hooks. Nate Dogg really killed it. I love his flow on there. And Xzibit just matched the energy. I feel like he was able to flow through it very, very well. I love this cadence on here, and he wasn't very aggressive on here, which I think was good because this was more of a calmer kind of song. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but I could say I can enjoy this song a lot. A really good throwback.
No business even fucking with no microphones. So yo, it's me against the world and they got shit to lose. My heavy artillery built to make the masses move.
Next song we got on here is You Know featuring Dr. Dre. I would argue this is probably my favorite song throughout the whole track, and I would argue one of the most underrated tracks throughout this album, if not the most underrated track maybe in his catalog. I haven't got to listen to his whole catalog yet, so I can't judge that early, but this song was definitely very enjoyable. Obviously Dr. Dre on the production was amazing. I feel like the beat was hard, the sound of it was very unique. I just liked the different instrument you heard compared to a lot of the previous songs I just listened to. And Xzibit's like first verse starting off was amazing. I love the hook on here. Dr. Dre's verse was honestly very acceptable. I don't know if he wrote it or not, but still very very acceptable for the most part. I can't find one thing that's wrong with this song. I just feel like this is a really hard song, very underrated. I don't know why this isn't like one of the top songs on the album. Maybe it is and I'm just blinded, but yeah, this song is very, very dope if y'all haven't listened to it.
The first day of the rest of my life, X stand behind the mic like Walter Cronkite. Y'all keep the spotlight. I'm keeping my mind.
Next song we got on here is X. Obviously one of the more popular songs on this album, if not the most popular song in Xzibit's catalog. Basically just representing what he is and what he's about and what he does. I feel like is really good storytelling on here, but not only that, I feel like the production meets high expectations. It definitely gives you that true West Coast sound that he's obviously representing in this song, and I just feel like he described himself in the best way possible. I love his aggression on here. His lyrical ability was amazing. The hook was also very catchy. This is just one of those songs where it could hit the mainstream and just get a good pop, and hit the radio and get a good listen. So this isn't a song I would listen to all the time because it is kind of, you know, an overplayed song at times. I remember hearing it when I was younger, but I feel like this could get a couple listens every now and then, and you know, just enjoy it. So definitely a really dope song.
It's that millennium ridiculous flow. I never let go. Niggas getting knocked out as part of my show. Let them know who they fucking with.
Next song we got on here is Alcoholic featuring Eric Sherman, Joro, and Tash. I almost said Trash for some reason because it's so close, but it is Tash. I thought this song was cool. The production, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. It's something that I wind up growing to like a little more. I felt like it was a little too like, you know, flip phony ringtone kind of vibe to it. If y'all know back in the day, like the 2000 ringtones from flip phones, they just sound so like old and just throwbacky, and that's what it kind of remind me of, the production wise. But I've grown to like it a little more. I feel like the beat type is amazing. Creativity on the production is definitely really good. I like Xzibit's verse on here. I feel like was the hook was okay. It was just okay. I feel like everybody else's verse was just okay as well. I feel like the biggest highlight is Xzibit on this particular song. Not to say nobody else did good, but I just think their verses were just okay for the most part. I feel like this isn't a song I would listen to often, but if it ever played in the car, I mean, I can get with it. So overall, I would say a good song.
X to the Z rocks any party, rocks the beats and the breaks, rocks the
Next song we got on here is Kenny Park Show 2001 featuring KRS-One. This is kind of like one of those songs that you kind of bypass. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, even with me listening to it a couple more times just to see if I really liked it, I didn't really enjoy it the first time, and it made me really not enjoy it that much the second time. I just kind of feel like the production didn't really meet the right expectations. I don't really like the production at all. It kind of has just like awkward kind of sound to it, and the beat type was okay. I feel like Xzibit's verse was solid. KRS-One as a feature, I kind of was hoping would be better. I feel like he was just kind of the introducer and, you know, just the guy to introduce you to the song, but I just don't feel like he did much to really provide what I thought he would provide on this particular song. So this to me is one of the more disappointing songs because I am a pretty big fan of KRS-One. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest, but I do respect his lyrical ability. But I just feel like this song didn't meet the expectations I thought. So if I had to think of like one of the worst songs on here, it would probably be this. But it's not like by a long shot. Like, this is absolutely the worst song. So honestly, I would just say it's okay at the end of the day.
I'm Mr. What the fuck you looking at? I'm Mr. Quick to run and get the gat. You like the hoods like a diplomat. Xzibit.
Next song we got on here is DNA. And DNA to them is drugs and alcohol, which that's not what it means. You could just search it up on the internet, but that's their version of DNA featuring Snoop Dogg. Again, another one of them songs where I'm just like, not gonna lie, the production is very outdated, at least to me. It sounds like something that should have been on like Midnight Club, like the early 2000s Midnight Club soundtrack. It just brings that kind of energy, and usually there's some good throwback songs, but I think this is kind of like one of the worst throwback songs. I feel like the hook was really too long. It just overdone, in my opinion. I just feel like they overdid it with the hook. I feel like the verse from Xzibit was okay. Snoop's verse was okay. Like, I just didn't really vibe with it like that. it was a very slowed down kind of, not a vibe kind of song. Like it was kind of a boring song if I'm really being honest. Like I could do without this song. And the funny part is I just mentioned on the previous song that it was the worst song. I want to change my answer. I think this is the worst song on the album. I just don't think performance wise was good. The production wasn't really good. The hook was a really too long. I just don't care for this song. So it's not the worst song I've ever heard, but I genuinely would skip this song 1,000 times every time. So yeah.
Liberati, extra. Enjoy the lecture from Hannibal Lecter. Now rewind selector. Bounce it.
Next song we got on here is Double Time. I feel like this song was cool. I wasn't the biggest fan of the production wise. I feel like the production definitely gave me some like fight night feels, but it wasn't nothing that I was too impressed with. But I would just say it's okay overall. The sound is cool. The beat type is cool. Like it ain't nothing too crazy. But I do feel like the hook was honestly pretty good. I feel like his verse was overall solid. He didn't really rap at like a good cadence for me to really vibe with it that much. But I feel like a song like this is something you play in the background and people just, still do their thing. It ain't something it ain't, personally to me, it isn't something you pay attention to. There's certain songs you do and then there's certain songs you don't. This is just one of them that you just kind of don't pay attention to, but you're willing to listen to. Overall, I feel like I said too, like way too many times. See, there you go. But yeah, I think this song is okay.
I'm the Golden State heavyweight. Being underrated gave me time to create. Can you relate? I renovate straight out the.
Next song we got on here is Don't Approach Me featuring Eminem. I think this song was very, very acceptable. Just for many, many reasons. This whole time I didn't know Eminem and Xzibit had like just a solo song together, so this is definitely news to me. But I feel like they collabed very well. The production wise definitely gives you that Eminem feel. You can tell Eminem produced this, because if he didn't, then I'll be very shocked. But this is definitely some Eminem type, like beat type, especially in the early 2000s. But I definitely messed with the production. The sound of it was very unique, very creative. The beat type was also very good as well. Xzibit had a really dope verse, great storytelling, and so did Eminem. Obviously, this was like prime Eminem, so like you can't say nothing bad about his verse. Just him explaining like the fandom and just being a celebrity and just explaining like he's a human at the end of the day, and just Xzibit explaining that he's a human at the end of the day, and just talking about fame. And I feel like it was great storytelling by the both of them, and they collabed very well. So definitely a really dope song.
Take a chance, come dance with a cowboy playing. Stop playing long time ago with child's toys. It's only men.
Next song we got on here is Rims and Tires featuring Defari, Goldilocks, and Cocaine. Oh gosh, these names sound crazy. I said it the best way I can. Please don't bash me in the comments. I feel like this song was actually pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie. When I had first heard it, I was like, I'm not messing with it, because the production isn't nothing crazy at all. I'm gonna just let y'all know that now. But it's kind of the beat type of the drums that you play in the song that sounds really good. I don't know why. But I enjoyed the production quite a bit. I just like the creativeness of him using like the drums in the background. I thought that was a really nice touch. But I feel like his verse was really dope on here. I feel like he was able to just have good cadence, keep the energy up with the song. I feel like the hook was okay. I understand, but they could have just been better. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like towards the end was definitely funny, because he had a little clip of him being on the phone with, I would guess, his girl or just some girl he was messing with, and I think it was just a funny interaction, and just leading up to the next song with this song, I thought was really dope. transition wise, but I feel like I underratedly like this song just due to the creativeness of the production and just the flow and cadence of Xzibit on this particular song. I think was very, very underrated.
Samantha, Lorraine, Monica, Veronica. She treated my dick like a harmonica. How you think I learned how to twist it?
Next song we got on here is Effing You Right. Obviously, I don't think I need to explain the title. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. But getting into this song, I feel like the production was very, very outdated. This is something you like would hear in a club in the early 2000s, and people just doing very sexual things that I'm not gonna really explain. I think y'all get the idea. I feel like the storytelling of this song, I personally can't relate to because I don't think it's okay to mess with other women just so you can do better in bed with the women you actually with. I don't really condone that. Any dude that does that, I'm not, against it. You can do what you want, but personally, I'm just not that type of dude to do that. But I feel like his lyrical ability on here was really good. But this isn't really a song I would listen to that often. And it's not really due to the message. I just feel like the production isn't really my favorite. I don't know. And maybe it is just the storytelling of it too, because it's just like, I can't really relate to this. So this is just one of those songs that's okay. And if it ever played in the car, I would personally just want to skip it because I'm just like, I don't really enjoy it that much.
I was voted most likely to have a psychiatric evaluation. Let's start the process of elimination. This dedication is...
Next song we got on here is Best of Things. I thought this song was really, really good. Obviously one of the more popular songs on this album, if not the most popular song in Xzibit's catalog. I just feel like the production was tough. Very tough production. I'd be surprised if Dr. Dre didn't produce this song as well, but it just has such an amazing beat type. I like the sound in the background of just, I don't know if it's like a piano, like an electric piano, but it just has that sound to it that keeps it going. I feel like Xzibit's cadence and flow was amazing on here. His aggression was very, very good. The hook was also very catchy as well. This is just one of those songs where there's really no complaints. I feel like this song is very complete. Definitely one of his better lyrical performances, in my opinion, and he was able to just keep the energy going, man. So definitely a really, really dope song.
Can drink a whole Hennessy fifth. Some call that a problem, but I call it a gift. Xzibit make the whole continent.
Next song we got on here is Get Your Walk On. I thought this song was honestly pretty good. It has a catchy line. I thought the hook was very, very catchy, just right off the rip. The production was okay. I feel like it is a little outdated, but I do feel like it matches the energy of Xzibit just with his crazy cadence and his lyrical ability to able to match the energy of the production overall. I feel like he had very underrated lines on this particular song that I can't think of right off the rip. But I do feel like this is one of the more underrated songs on the album. I feel like it gets more attention now, but like I feel like years ago maybe it didn't get that much attention that it deserved. But I do feel like this song is definitely dope. It's just the production that sounds a little outdated, but I mean, I could listen to this song as many times as I can, and it still sounds very enjoyable. Just lyrical wise, the production not so much, but lyrically I feel like he can keep up.
Sorry I'm away so much. My son was born about 4.5 years ago.
Next song we got on here is Sorry I'm Away So Much featuring Sugar Free. Easily the most underrated song on this entire album. I don't know why this song doesn't get more attention. I really don't. The production is really, really good. It gives you that kind of classic West Coast feel, kind of like a mafioso kind of vibe to it. The piano in the background I think was a really nice touch. The beat type was very subtle but very fitting at the same time. I just feel like it just fits so perfect. And then when Xzibit spits his verse, he is able to just have such a great flow, match the energy completely. I feel like the hook, well, there really is no hook. It's just the sound in the background of the production, I think is really, really just perfect. Um, it's just really surprising how this song is very just underneath the radar when it comes to this whole album. But I do enjoy this song a lot. I listen to it quite often, I'm not gonna lie, because it has a really nice vibe to it. It's not too much. It's something you could just lay back, maybe play in your car and just chill to. It's really a subtle song, and I think y'all would enjoy it if y'all give it a good listen.
When your niggas remain the same, clear the lane, coming through like Kobe. You can't hold me, you can't stop me. Ever since I dropped Papa.
The last song we have on this album is Loud and Clear, featuring DeFori, King T, and Butch Cassidy. I really wish it was just Cassidy, if I'm being honest, if y'all know what I mean. But anyways, I feel like for this to be the last song, I'm not mad at it. It definitely kind of brought the mood down, in my opinion. This is kind of one of those more subtle West Coast sound that has obviously that funkiness to it. But it was a really like downslope kind of song. So it's not really a song to get excited for. It's just really one of those just, I guess, chill songs, if I want to sum it up like that. I mean, I feel like verses were cool. I don't know. I don't really care for this song that much because I just don't feel like, I feel like we started off so good and then it kind of goes down to this being the last song. It kind of just goes downhill for me. It's not the worst song on the album, but it's just not a song that I'm like vibing with that much, if I'm being brutally honest. If y'all heard something in the background, that's something totally different. But I feel like the song was okay. It's just okay. Like, that's all I can really say. But it is time to get to the final thoughts. My final thoughts on this album, easily one of the more underrated albums that I've ever listened to. The reason why I feel like Xzibit alone is very underrated when it comes to a lot of other rappers, and I feel like it has a lot to do with the era he came up in, obviously the early 2000s. You're competing with a lot of competition, and you know, he wasn't able to really stand out as much as I wanted him to, but I do feel like his lyrical ability is very underrated. His cadence and flow is very good. I feel like the choice of the production was very good. Features wise, I feel like we're okay. Very underrated in some aspects, but pretty much okay featureless. I do feel like, you know, when it comes to albums like this, it's kind of under the radar because rappers like this don't really promote their albums as much as other rappers do. Like, I don't feel like Xzibit really promotes it to the fullest, but I feel like for a throwback album, it definitely holds accountable. I feel like this is definitely one of the better throwback albums I've ever listened to. There are a couple songs that you kind of skip past and kind of be like, and you scoff at, but I do feel like for the songs that are really good, I feel like you could listen to consistently and get a good vibe to it, because I feel like Xzibit definitely brings the drive of being arguably one of the better rappers of the early 2000s for sure. But I just feel like, you know, with him being in an era with the Jay-Z's, with the Eminems, you know, with the 50 Cents, he's just not able to really stand out above those guys. And I feel like for the West Coast sound he was able to bring, definitely brings that classic feel to it in certain ways. But I feel like this album definitely deserves a little more attention. Now, obviously, it probably went, you know, platinum or double platinum, but that's not saying much when people don't bring Xzibit to rap conversations. So definitely an underrated track, or not an underrated track, but definitely an underrated album, and another just underrated rapper that I feel like people need to pay attention to a little bit more. With all that being said, I'm giving this album a 8 out of 10. that will conclude today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, like, subscribe, and comment down below what other albums y'all want me to review. Also, click the link down in my description for all my social medias. But yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one.